What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Steven and Cam, where we keep it 100. Today, our topic for this show, and like we said, sports bring us to all different walks of life, but this particular topic has been in the news for some time and is related to a certain WNBA star, Brittney Griner. Most of us should know if you're watching this, she is in Russia right now, detained for having cannabis oil with illegal intent. I don't know why he's laughing right now, but she has been detained and sentenced most recently to 9.5 years. So that's today's topic, and we're just gonna hop right into it. First, little Pat, I wrote it down. What we know. She was detained in Russia for a cannabis vape container, which I guess you could say is related to a vape, dab pen, whatever you want to call it. Why she was in Russia? She was in Russia because she plays overseas over there. Basketball. Brittney Griner is a basketball star. She's also, for people who don't know who she is, and I feel like you should probably know who she is.
Don't do that, because some people don't watch sports.
I'm talking about not in the sports type deal, but just in the news.
Some people don't watch the news, Steven.
Okay, well, if you don't watch the news, I feel like a lot of people watch the news. But if you haven't watched the news and you don't know who she is, if they don't watch that, then they're not going to understand what I'm about to say. I was just saying, she's the one.
Well, that's why we do this, to educate the people.
Well, she was on the Olympic basketball team at the same time DeMarcus Cousins was on the Olympic basketball team with Kevin Durant, and she challenged DeMarcus Cousins to a one-on-one.
And then you come out with a sports example.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. People ain't understand that. But
right. Brittney Griner, for the people who don't know, Brittney Griner is a WNBA basketball star. And that's pretty much, that's what she is. She's a
WNBA basketball star. She plays for the Phoenix Mercury. She's a post player, real tall.
Oh, yeah.
She's got family, so that's all this is weighing heavy toll on that. But like I said, she's been in Russia for over 130 days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a minute. That's the first thing. But yeah, she was sentenced last week to 9.5 years in prison. And the I guess you could say the maximum, or is the minimum. I think the minimum for the crime that she committed in Russia is 10 years. So she's already served 130 days. So giving her 9.5, you could basically call that 10 years, I guess you could say. But you look at the facts of the case. She admitted guilt. She pled guilty. I think it was to just make the trial kind of speed up, and kind of ask for leniency, I guess you could say, because she understood what she did. She wanted to say she understood what she did wrong. She didn't mean to have the vape cartridges in her luggage.
She basically did what Deshaun Watson should have did, but we'll get on that later.
But yeah, so she admitted guilt. She pled guilty, asking for leniency. There's been word about a prisoner swap, and the prisoner swap and the whole deal with the U.S. and Russia. Obviously, relations between the U.S. and Russia isn't good right now. That's why you can see gas prices going up because of the oil talks that have been going on, and that's because of Ukraine versus Russia, and the U.S. backs Ukraine. We could really give a crash course on this, but I'm just gonna make it, long story short. Russia goes after Ukraine, and the U.S. bans with Ukraine, and Russia does not like that, and they've stated that. So the U.S. has put sanctions on Russia to kind of weed them out, make their economy bad. So when you do that, obviously, we get a lot of the reason why gas prices was, kind of on the lower side, or just not high, I could say. Just not high, was because we used oil, we used pipelines out of Russia. And now, since we've cut that off and we're not using that, and a lot of other, countries have cut that off too, we're kind of leaving Russia on an island. So when you leave Russia on that island, that's why gas prices have skyrocketed. And, we haven't, been able to, appease that yet. But also that's why this case, and like I said, we're real talk. We talk about everything surrounding sports. That's why this is so important because it shows the political nature within sports. Because right now, I feel like she's being used as a political pawn to kind of show the U.S. that we are going to prosecute her to the fullest extent. Because there have been other cases like this with Americans in Russia, and they've gotten off with a couple months jail time maybe, and then they pay the fine. But her,
they're making an example out of her.
Yeah. So they're making an example. They're giving her the max amount of jail time plus, the fine of 1 million rubles. That's the money.
Russian currency.
Yeah, Russian currency. So she's got to pay 1 million rubles, and she's sentenced to 9.5 years. Now, during her time in detainment, she did write a letter to President Joe Biden. Talking about, she voted for him, she believes in his mission, and things like that, but she also just wants to come home. She has a family. I know her wife went on Good Morning America and was talking about how hard it's been. She's a lawyer, so she understands the legal side of things, especially with international law. I guess you could say, international law can get real rocky. I guess you could say in terms of, because not every country, of course, isn't like us, and they don't have the same rules and regulations. So, and of course, Russia is a different type of government. So they're more, authoritative, and they have, they have a lot of steep penalties. But this seems, of course, it seems too much. 10 years, that's a decade of your life for some cartridges. But also, so that's so yeah. So so the prisoner swap. The U.S. has asked for Brittney Griner and Paul Whelan, and Paul Whelan is the ex-Marine for the U.S. and he was convicted of espionage, which is spying. And he was sentenced to jail. Not sure how long his sentence was, but he's been in there for a while. And they want Brittney Griner. But Russia has wants too, and they want Victor Bout, who was an international arms dealer. And when you hear this dude's resume, it kind of seems like he's an Avengers villain. I'm not gonna lie. It just seems like he's like something that you would see in a freaking Iron Man movie or something. But he's an international arms dealer. He is a lot of people say he's responsible for a lot of lives that have been lost internationally within the United States.
So a serial killer.
I guess you could brand him that, but he supplies weapons, illegal weapons that have no places of origin really. So you can't track. Usually, you can track weapons back to their original place. Mm-hmm. But the international arms dealers, they take these weapons and they can be brandished to them, given to them, sometimes even by governments. But that's a whole nother topic. But they give them to them, and they give them out to militia, bands of rebels, just groups, terrorists, and they go ahead and take lives, and that's on him also. So they want him. They want Victor Bout, and they want a former colonel in their army, and he also got convicted of espionage here, of spying. So he got locked up too. So they wanted to do swap 2 for 2, and which is crazy because not the prisoner swap, but what's crazy is the way we found out about this. It kind of rang up on our phone like it was doing like an NBA trade deal or something. Like
it was on NBA trade deadline.
It was crazy. But those are the facts. Those are the facts of the case, the straight up facts. And there's a lot of things that we can get into first. But first thing I want to get into is first thing I want to get into is the fact of the obvious double standards of this case. And there's a lot of stuff that we can get into with this when we talk about double standards. I talked about people getting off easier, and there was a girl who done this. I forget the year, but her name was Audrey Lober, and she got off, and it was the same. It was pretty much the same exact facts. She had like what, I think $5 worth of weed, maybe, or something. But it was she had weed, she had cannabis, THC, some sort of component that's obviously illegal in Russia. Mm-hmm. She was sentenced to, or she wasn't even sentenced. She was just detained for like 2 to 3 months, and then she was let off. And I think it was like either like she maybe had to pay 15,000 rubles, maybe. I think I'd have to look up the fine.
The difference is this though. She had no type of word would be clout, or like she wasn't an important. Let's say she was an important person, because you want to be like everybody's important, but it doesn't hold the same weight as Brittney Griner. So like, and then at the time, the timing of it, the relationship between Russia and America probably was different. We know it's different now than what it was then.
But here's my thing. Here's my thing is that Russia and the U.S. have always had a rocky history. If you go back in the history books right after World War II,
that's why I said
I'm saying, but the Cold War was between us, and we've always had like this kind of power struggle type deal of who's better, who has more military power, who's more economically sound.
Yeah, but I think
stuff
again,
like that.
It's still Brittney Griner versus a random American. Because nobody knew about, what's her name again?
Audrey Lobert.
Nobody knew about no Audrey until Brittney Griner was in Russia. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's definitely the position that we're in because, of course, the things happening in Ukraine, which is horrendous to begin with, but that's still happening. And we are, the U.S. is obviously taking the side of Ukraine. And we're helping them out. So, and Russia has advocated against any country helping Ukraine out. But of course, we're the biggest country to help them out. So they're gonna obviously if they have an opportunity to kind of one up us or get back at us, and I think this is the opportunity that they're taking. Yeah. But more importantly, I want to look at. There's the argument, there's an argument on both sides. And the argument on both sides is, Brittney Griner, she's been playing in Russia. Oh, I'm on that side. Let's go back to why Brittney Griner's in Russia. They
about to get mad at me.
Let's go back to why Brittney Griner's in Russia, first of all. Brittney Griner's in Russia, why? Because, she plays on the women's team there. She plays basketball. But her pay there, her salary is equal to $1 million in U.S. money. Okay? Mm-hmm. So
she makes more money there.
Yeah. So over here, she plays with Phoenix Mercury, and over here, her salary for last season was $227,000 last season. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all this. First of all, LeBron James makes more than the entire WNBA budget. Let's just put it like that. And
that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem. And of course, there's levels to that. People are going to say, okay, people don't watch the WNBA as much. Okay, that's one thing. And, there's not as much marketability in the WNBA because people don't watch it. That's cool also. They also don't get their, a lot of feature time. They've done better. Sports Center, ESPN, different, places,
doing better now?
Yeah.
But it's still like...
It's obviously like, if they got to choose between the highlight of LeBron James, I don't know, playing with his son or something, and then they got... a WNBA highlight, they're going to give the highlight to LeBron James. Or let's just say LeBron James dunking.
But again, they're getting better with that, I think.
Yeah, they're making strides. They're making strides. But obviously, let's just look at in the span of a 10-year span. In the last 10 years, there hasn't been as much, not as much enthusiasm about the WNBA versus the NBA. Which is tragic in itself, but this is something we knew. This is something that we've gone through.
It's a fact.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's factual. So obviously, Brittney Griner's salary, being low as it is, because even veterans in the NBA don't even make that low of a salary. And I know $227,000 to us is like, dang, like that's a lot of money, but to them, who's their lifestyles kind of sometimes require this amount of money. because they're going and coming, and then like where you gonna stay at? You're gonna go and play all these basketball games and stay in a
Motel 6.
Yeah, Motel 6, and I mean, of course, that's just one season of play. So she basically is working a 6-figure job, to be honest. Like if you be honest, and that's her because she's a star. She's a star on the team. Imagine another WNBA player that's not a star on the team.
Right.
So that's
good point.
That's the one thing. Second thing, she's going to Russia. She's getting $1 million, which is equivalent to the U.S. She's getting $1 million. So she's going over there, almost tripling her salary. So obviously she's going over there. She's not just over there, and it's not her first time being there. That's the first thing, or that's the second thing. I mean, and that's the reason people like why she's over there. That's the reason she's over there. You have anything to add to that in terms of why she's over there?
No.
But yeah, so she's over there because of that reason. And people like to say, okay.
People, maybe this is my time to speak.
Okay, I'm gonna let Karen have Karen Hunt for this one, because I feel like I said, there's two sides to every argument, and I just went over why she's over there, and you have to keep that in mind first. And that's part of my view on it. But there's two sides to every argument, and the one side is, okay, she got detained over there. She's been over there for over 130 days. She got sentenced to 9.5 years. That is extensive. That is too cruel. That is this and that. And then the other side is she knew what she was doing. She's been over there, and she had. I don't know why he's looking at me like that, but she's been over there. She knows the rules. This, that, and other thing. Just more of an authoritative too. No, I'm just saying. I'm just giving a little synopsis.
Don't be trying to synop me.
I'm gonna let you go.
Don't synop me.
I'll let you go.
I don't need you synopping me.
Go. I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
Okay, so my argument is, right, I feel like if you been over there multiple times, right, like she lived over there at a certain point in time, the law's there, and I feel like, hey, if you do the crime, you got to do the time. Like, I just think it's that simple. I'm not trying to be empathetic.
Well, you're not being empathetic. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, no.
You're saying I'm not trying to be.
I mean, I'm trying to.
You're not being empathetic.
I don't want to be mean about it or like a butthole about it, but it's just like, I feel like it's simple, and maybe it's not as simple as I think it is. But it's like, okay, she got caught with an illegal substance, mm-hmm. and it just so happened that the country she had the illegal substance in is having a bout with America.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you got to abide by their rules, their laws. And whatever happens, it happens.
I get, that's the thing. I mean, I get that argument. I do, because, different countries, like I just said, different countries have different laws.
I'm taking the emotion. I'm taking
you take the emotion out of it. Yeah,
I'm just looking at it for black and white for what it is.
You're looking at it straight facts.
If a Russian person was in America with illegal substance, we'll put them in jail for breaking American laws.
True.
And nobody would have a problem with it.
True.
But then the American goes to another country with illegal substance. They got to face the punishment. And now we all supposed to be having a moment of silence. Don't come at me in the comments, okay? Please. I'm just trying to understand.
But it's good. It's good to have that opposing view, because you want to understand.
Yeah.
Why
understand
why the reactions, why we have the reactions we have to it now. Why?
But see, I understand the emotional part of it, because I do get that she has family. Mm-hmm. Like that's a hard thing to be away from somebody like that for that long. I understand that part.
Yeah, no doubt.
I understand, her job, her first love with basketball. She's not gonna be able to do that. Well, she might be able. Mm-hmm. In jail.
Oh God. Shoot trip. Keep talking before you
shoot the milk carton in the trash can.
Oh my God.
I still got it. Okay, I'm sorry. But I'm saying, I get the emotional part of it, right? Mm-hmm. But as looking at it from just black and white, take your emotion and feelings out of it. She broke the law.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I can understand, where you and everybody else with that view are coming from. Like, okay, she broke the law. It's international. She's been there, so she understands the law.
Or she should.
Because
if you don't know, like when you go on vacation out of the country, most people you look up, okay, what their laws is. Can I bring this? Can I take that back? Mm-hmm. Most people do that. Mm-hmm. And this one time she slipped up, and she slipped in her head.
Going back to what she said and pleading guilty, she did say that she didn't know that the vape cartridges were in her bag. Which again, if you want to talk about accountability, that's still on her. Yeah, this, that, and so forth. But me, I'm gonna put everything that you're saying is true. She should know the rules. It should have been if she was leaving, because she was leaving. To prepare for the WNBA season, it should have been a non-factor. It should have been like, oh, I'm out, I'm going. But what I don't like is, like I said, the double standard. I understand that she is a person with some stat, but like you said, is her stature really enough? Because let's look at it like this. Let's look at it like this. Because you just said that not a lot of people before. I'm gonna ask this question, and obviously it's rhetorical because I know you knew who she was. But it's rhetorical to our viewers.
If you watch this on YouTube, put it in the comments.
Yeah. Did you know who Brittney Griner was before this happened?
Because I would say no.
That's what I'm saying. I knew who she was. You knew who she was. Yeah. But and I know people associated with basketball, the sport. People who just love WNBA or just
the sports people.
Yeah, just sports people.
But some people didn't know who she. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. You watch the Olympics.
But
again, you know who she is.
It's statue though, because people know who she was.
But that's what I'm saying.
Her getting arrested means something.
How does that? I'm saying if she establishes first I want to establish.
You said it earlier. You said it's a power play.
Yeah, I know.
They're using her to make an example.
I know it's a power play. They're using her to make an example because of the reaction that everyone had. But I'm trying to form this. First, I want to establish her stature. Her stature in
celebrity.
Yeah, Would you say celebrity though?
Yes.
Would you say celebrity?
Celebrity is when you have a mass group of people that knows you, and she has that. Whether it's just a sport, you can be a sports celebrity, you can be a Hollywood celebrity, but it's still a celebrity.
Okay, so let's just say for the sake of talking, okay, we're establishing her stature as a celebrity. People know her. Okay, so Russia knows that. Russia knows her. So
I'm saying she was a celebrity in Russia. She played for the Russian team.
Yeah. I know she probably, she's probably loved in Russia, but she, she gets arrested. She gets detained, and then the thing about it, we didn't even know for a minute that she had been arrested. So how can we say? Okay, let's replace her. This has been a common argument. Let's replace her with LeBron James. LeBron James gets arrested in Russia.
LeBron James will get 15 years in prison.
But we know the second it happens. We know.
I don't think we know the second.
Oh, yes, we do.
Well, you know what? You might be right. Because Russia will want you to know.
Yeah. Russia would want us to know. But we didn't know about her because guess what? Russia didn't, they were like, okay, she got arrested. We didn't know until a few weeks or more after she had been arrested. Like, she had been sitting there for a minute. And Russia probably was just like, okay, we know she's here, but we don't know what she means to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Until it came out she's over here.
But then that goes back to stature of celebrity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How can we call her a celebrity if we
she's a celebrity in America?
Replace any other celebrity. Name a celebrity. Just name one. Name a celebrity.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt gets arrested. We know the second it happens. The second.
No,
and don't even go back. Brad Pitt is a high level. Okay, let's go any lower. Go any lower.
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby literally got arrested in Sweden or something? Or was it Sweden?
No, that was Drake.
No, that wasn't Drake.
This was.
That was A$AP Rocky.
No, that was Drake. He got arrested in
Drake, but that wasn't true. I found out that wasn't true. we talking about
fact check. Ding.
that wasn't true. I think his friends got arrested. He didn't get arrested.
Oh.
But
still,
Lil Baby did get arrested because everyone thought, oh snap, is James Harden gonna get arrested? But he didn't.
Sweden is different. We're not in a fight with Sweden.
But I know. But I'm saying. I
feel like he would have.
I'm saying the point of knowing.
Yeah,
the point of knowing.
He's not internet. I don't think he's well known in Russia. I don't think he'll be well known in Russia.
But I'm talking about with us. This isn't a Russia thing.
It would be a Russia thing.
This is an us thing.
No, but you said Russia would not. You said it. Russia didn't know. Brittney Griner didn't mean anything to Russia, but they didn't know what Brittney Griner meant to us in America.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't.
They wouldn't know what they don't. They wouldn't know what Lil Baby meant to.
Out of all the people you named, yes, they would.
No, they would not. Not Lil Baby.
I feel like they would.
They wouldn't. No.
But I'm just saying.
Lil Baby be sitting there
but I'm still saying that even what you're saying, it's not a Russia thing about them knowing. I mean, yeah, they might not know what Brittney Griner meant to us, but what about us as as American? You see all this stuff that goes to the press every single day. Just some stupid stuff, just fickle stuff, just going through the press. And you're saying that she had been in Russia for like a couple weeks, and we just didn't even know. Like you're saying, like, and if we're establishing her as a celebrity, like you said, like a Brad Pitt, like Lil Baby or a LeBron James. We know, maybe not even like, okay, if it's LeBron James and Brad Pitt, we know the second. Okay. Maybe Lil Baby, give it a couple days. But like we still know within the week.
I'm thinking. The wheels are turning. But see, I gave the wrong celebrities. I gave the wrong celebrities. Because think about it. If people know who Lil Baby is.
I mean, yeah, it definitely depends on what level of celebrity you are.
Yeah. So like if it was like a Renee Howard, rookie for the Atlanta Dream, we wouldn't have,
I know. It would have
been the same thing.
But what's the common denominator? The WNBA.
Exactly. So it will have to be somebody on that stature, like, because people only watch WNBA if you love basketball, if you're just a sports fanatic.
Right.
So that takes off a certain percentage of Americans right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably wouldn't know something like that unless it is somebody like LeBron James who has, that's internationally known. You would know that. Of course you would. Mm-hmm. Because he has power. But if it's like a local celebrity that, or like a WNBA or like, let's say it was like a minor league player in baseball.
Yeah, I mean,
you wouldn't find that out until like a couple of days or a week or so after.
I know there's a certain level of
stature is different. The stature is different.
I know,
which is why I don't understand. Which is kind of part of the thing, like with the LeBron James versus Brittney. Like I get the argument, I understand the argument, but at the same time, we got to understand the facts of the argument. LeBron James is a whole different situation than Brittney Griner. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a separate entity by himself.
But why is it a separate entity?
Because LeBron James is LeBron James.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it doesn't make it
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it does, but I'm just speaking on what reality is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to make the separation of what we want to be true and what is true.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean,
that's a word right there. Y'all might want to write that down. Y'all might want to write that down. Get your pens and paper. Write that down. That's a word right there.
I definitely get and understand what you're coming from with it. That LeBron James up for greatest player in the world
ever.
Yeah, or ever.
LeBron, Tom, and that's about it.
That's a conversation for a different time. But that's a conversation for a different time because we could get into a whole thing.
Right. Back to Brittney.
Yeah, back to Brittney. But if we saying if we're making the case for LeBron James gets arrested in Russia, right? So
Russia will have a parade,
but the U.S. approach.
They will have a parade. We have Bron. They would want you to know that, so that way they would have America. They'll have us stressed out. They would have us stressed out.
But I want to talk about us. I want to talk about the U.S., the United States approach to all of this, right?
Chuck, the United States.
Do you think LeBron's still over there? At this point, she's been over there for 130 days. She's been over there for 130. I'm just saying.
What are they going to do?
I'm just saying.
Because I got a question. We're going to start war over LeBron? That's the only way Russia going to give up LeBron James. We would have to go to war. Literally. And I'm not getting drafted. I excuse. Not over LeBron James. Child, LeBron got to wait that time out. Locked up. Don't let him.
But I'm just saying that there's a lot of things the U.S. could do. I mean, they already have severe sanctions on Russia. But
yeah,
I mean,
obviously they ain't do nothing.
I know, but I'm saying that there's always. I mean, it's the government, and I know we don't know every single facet of what of what they can do to Russia, every single deal, every single thing that they can expose, they can do. But I'm sure if you take somebody with the stature of LeBron James, and they are over there, they are in Russia, they are arrested in Russia. Do you think that the U.S. takes a more aggressive approach to get them out? Because right now,
I don't want to answer that question because again, I don't know what is a more aggressive approach.
But I'm just saying,
what are you gonna?
If there was, let's just say there was just some super aggressive approach where Russia would just be like, "All right, do you think they do it?" For LeBron James, for clarification,
I can't answer that.
Why not? Why can't you answer it?
Because I just don't know what is.
I'm just saying,
Are we giving up land? Are we giving up money?
It's unnamed. It's unnamed. Like, it's a super aggressive approach where they were just like, okay, we'll give them to you. We don't want no smoke. We'll give it to you. Like, do you think
I don't know.
They do it for LeBron James? Because I have an answer.
We know you have an answer. You've been talking for the past 35 minutes. We know you have an answer. You always have the answer.
So, what do you think?
I don't have the answer.
Oh my god!
Well, okay, I just don't know what the. I'm a person where I need to know the cause, the effect, and how that affects others as well. Like, I want to what super aggressive that to my mind is thinking, okay, we're gonna have to go to war, and it's gonna be a whole huge thing, and all we get in return is LeBron.
Well, we'd stop the war in Ukraine, I guess. Maybe.
And again, all we get in return is LeBron.
Well, I mean,
you're
true.
I'm just saying, I know.
I feel like I understand what you're saying. Like, you need to know.
I just feel like Russia would be more aggressive with it.
They'd be like,
Brittney got 9.
They'd be like, do it.
Years.
They'd be like, do it.
Yeah, Russia.
They'd be like, do it, bro.
Because they gave Brittney 9 years.
They'd be like, all right, yeah.
LeBron, they gonna give Bron a tough penalty. Because again, like you said, and then it's LeBron, so they know what he means to us. Mm-hmm. But then again, though, China will get involved too, because Bron got the back. Child. Russia ain't gonna win that one though, because then you gonna have United States and China teamed up against you for LeBron.
No. Okay.
We're losing.
Back to the original. Back to what I was asking, because now he's getting to a whole other thing.
We done talked about LeBron.
Back to original.
You are the problem.
No, but LeBron being part of this is
you are the problem.
No, LeBron being part of this is essential because he's trying to expose a double standard. What I'm trying to say is, like I said, we don't know every single part. Deal or whatever that they could do.
But I agree.
But I feel like
I concur.
I feel like that if LeBron James was over there, that he would be home. I feel like the U.S. would do. I feel like the U.S. would do anything possible, even if it meant giving up these two dudes earlier to get LeBron back. They would do it. I just feel like LeBron being over there would just be like, because also when you look at this. The age of social media and the age of the age of digital humanitarianism has been so.
Spell it.
No, stop it. The age of digital humanitarianism has expanded so much, but what about Paul Whelan? Paul Whelan is the dude who's over there, who's been over there. He has been over there.
It takes you back to that point. The status. This is all about status and power. Because before Brittney went over there, I didn't even know somebody was over there. I'm just being honest. I ain't even. What's his last name?
Paul Whelan.
Whelan family.
Whelan
family. If you're watching this, respect. I hope we get them back. But like I said, before this whole thing, I didn't even know we had people over there.
But I mean, I'm just saying.
I didn't know.
I'm just saying.
And I didn't know we had people over here.
Of course you wouldn't know, Kim. That's just not nothing that they just like, oh, well, we got this dude.
Well, I'm just saying, like, again, I didn't know. So it's like, Paul Wheeler, like, dude, I'm sorry. But it goes back to status, though. If Brittney Griner didn't have her status, she probably would have been let off. And then Wheeler was just being
Wheeler didn't get let off. Well, I mean, it's a completely different crime. You can't really compare the thing.
But my point exactly. So if she didn't have the status, and she had the status of Aubrey, who they let out, Wheeler would have still been over there.
Audrey, not Aubrey.
Audrey, sorry.
He's talking about Drake. He said Aubrey.
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Sorry. But you see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like, if she was just like, if it was me and you, right? We would have went over there. We had to pay a little rubles. Pay that, serve the time, and then we'll be let go, right? But Brittney, LeBron, no, y'all gotta do some time because we gotta make an example out of y'all. We're gonna use y'all. We can use y'all to get something out of it.
But that's what I'm saying. That prime example. That's what makes it unfair to them because they're being not there. So she is a political pawn. She's a political pawn.
So then, instead of thinking about it like that, the question really should be to them folks on the White House what their priorities is. Is it about the status American, the first class American, or is it about the regular Americans? Because
that's what I'm saying.
They ain't said nothing about Will being over there now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it falls back on us. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's a double standard.
You better stop.
Because it looks like what?
Joe gonna get mad.
Me and Joe, come on the show. We can have a sit down. I'll talk to you.
Don't get mad, Joe.
I'll have a sit down and talk to you about it. I would love to do that because I want to see
Vice President Harris.
I want to know because like this has been a thing, and I'm it's the end of summer. Everyone was in school when this was happening. This was in second semester. Yeah,
we was in school.
Yeah. She's been in there for a really long time. And
is it still cold in Russia?
You heard her.
Do she need a jacket?
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
But she's been over there. She's been over there for a really long time. Since we've been in school, really. So
yes.
So like, and the reason to bring up LeBron James is of course, if you want to, I'm just saying
the double standard.
Yeah, the double standard. You want to give it to the viewers. I mean, obviously, we're not saying that she is the woman version of LeBron James to her sport, but what we're saying is when you take someone of LeBron James' stature, and this is nothing against LeBron James, he's built himself up to be of that stature, right. But also it's a double standard of we're looking at someone who's in the same sport, is a woman, plays in the WNBA, already is downtrodden because LeBron makes more than the whole WNBA combined, and then you take her and you put her in this situation where really she's only trying to make her life better because she's forced to go over there because the WNBA salary is so low, and then she's forced to go over there, slips up, who doesn't, and has these vape cartridges in her thing, gets arrested, and I personally feel like if you switch that out for LeBron James, the U.S., the White House is making all stops. Why? Because it's LeBron James, his stature in America. But you take someone like Brittney Griner, who WNBA star, you may know or you may not. The only reason that, let's be honest, let's be completely honest. The only reason why something is potentially getting done, because honestly, if we're being honest, nothing has been done. She just went and pled guilty, and she got her 9.5 years. And the U.S. was like, we may give y'all these people. But now we may give y'all the Victor Bout dude who seems like he's an Avengers villain. But then Russia came back and said we want the spy dude too. And then the U.S. and Russia have not talked about any of this since July 29th. It came out yesterday that well,
that's not July 29th. That's not yesterday.
Yeah, it came out yesterday that they haven't talked.
Okay.
Since July 29th.
If y'all watching the video, we in August.
Yeah. It came out yesterday that they haven't talked since July 29th about prisoner swap or anything, but they know the terms. Each side knows what they want. It's willingness to act on it at this point.
What's the problem? Swap them out.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's the U.S. because that's two high profile Russian people that Russia wants for some reason. Okay.
Well, yeah, they're gonna put him back in the field. They're gonna be spying again.
So
it's very simple.
So
just do the same thing, America. Swap the people and then arrest them again. You know what they look like.
That's not how it works. That's just not how it's gonna work. That's just not even how it's gonna work. But yeah, exposing
what Bernie Mac said, America.
exposing that double standard, because I feel like if it was somebody else,
you're
right, like Brad Pitt, LeBron James, blah blah blah, list goes down the line.
But it just goes back to status,
and it's the double. But the status, like the status part of it is the double standard.
That's an American problem
because they wouldn't. But I didn't even get to finish my point. I'm saying that if you know.
You didn't finish your point yet.
I'm saying stop it. The point I was trying to make is that if there wasn't all this, how do you put it? You know, digital
turmoil.
I guess you could say turmoil, but also frustration from American people, civil rights activists, it's activists in general that have a wider spread to these stories and this information because of the internet.
Public outcry.
Yeah, if there wasn't as much of a public outcry for this, the White House would be doing nothing. I firmly believe they wouldn't do anything.
Yeah,
they wouldn't do anything. But if LeBron James was over there, it would just be like automatic. You know we're gonna go get LeBron. It's LeBron, but it's Brittney. So unless you say something, and you gotta say something like you gotta keep saying stuff for me to act on it. Like
again, it goes back to.
But that's humanitarian. That's looking out for your own. That's humanitarianism. But there's that double standard, but there's also another double standard. That's on the opposite side.
They about to get mad.
There's another double standard.
If we can talk about look out for your own.
There's another double standard. Hey, there's another double standard on the opposite side, though, of, you know, really kind of on your side of the argument. Because
about the weed.
Yeah, about
America.
About the weed. And obviously, and like I said, I'm going to reiterate this throughout the show. You know, we're real talk. We talk about the real issues, you know, surrounding sports, all facets of sports.
America.
But
we have a problem, America.
But we have a really sketchy, not even sketchy, just bad. It's not even sketchy. It's just really bad history when it comes to putting black people in jail for drugs.
Well, I wasn't even gonna just go there. I was gonna keep it general first. See, you went.
I'm shooting.
You was going straight. I was trying to be general at first.
Aiming for the head, not aiming to please. OVO. No, I'm just kidding.
But I was gonna. But yeah, the weed is the problem that America needs to think about, okay? So, how are we, well, I'm not going to say we, America, how is the government going to get Brittney Griner out of jail for possessing weed when in America she would go to jail for possessing weed?
True. That's been the big question. That's been one of my questions too. You know, of course, I feel like the penalty is too harsh in Russia, and Russia is obviously using it as a political piece. But also, you got to look at it internally in America. Our history sucks with black people and drugs. And you know, there's like right now, like I'm gonna name out a name. Ronald Hammond. Ronald Hammond had a $5 bag of weed. $5 bag of weed. You know how long he's serving?
Okay, $5 bag for the people that don't do drugs. What is the grams for $5 of weed?
What is it?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking. I don't do.
I just know it was $5 worth. I just know it was $5. I don't know how many. I don't know how many. I thought you knew. That's why I asked. How many grams it was worth? But this was obviously this was before. Okay, but there's laws in place because before there was a law in place that if you had, you know, any amount of weed, you were gonna get the penalty for just having weed on you within like a kind of like an intent to sell type deal. But now if you have less than an ounce, if you are found with less than an ounce of weed,
so technically she wouldn't go to jail then. She had 0.7.
Oh yeah, then she wouldn't. Oh okay, then that makes it different. But there are still people in jail who have been found with less than an ounce of weed, but this is before this law was in place.
You're right.
Now they're in jail and they're serving time. Like I said, Ronald Hammond is serving 20 years for a $5 bag of weed, and he's serving until I don't know. People sell different different grams for
depends on
different
who
price.
they-
Yeah,
oh.
it's just I just not.
Who
That's
your
why I don't know the
supplier
price.
is.
It's usually general, but people sell differently.
Where's
But-
Ghost when you need him? He said, "Where to go?"
He wasn't doing weed. That was different.
I'm pretty sure he understands. He had to start somewhere.
But there is a double standard as how can America, because like I said before, they're still not pulling out all the stops for Brittney Griner.
No, yeah.
They're not pulling out all the stops. But they are, looking for, if I were to guess, just based on the public outcry, like Cam said, and the social activism online and everything that people can see right now, just because, people are going to be on the backs of the government, backs of the White House for this, I would say that she probably, if there's going to be something, a prisoner swap, it's probably going to happen, I would say probably within the next 1 to 2 months, I would say. I hope it's sooner. But I would say if my best guess would be, it'd be like 1 to 2 months. But if you look at the inverse of this conversation, the inverse of the discussion that we're having, you can clearly see that there is a double standard, not only with the status of Brittney Griner and her being used as a political pawn, but also the status of drugs and black people in this country and how people are locked up for this crime that we are seemingly outcrying for, with Brittney Griner and trying to get her home. She was found with .7. So under law now, it still would be a misdemeanor under law now. But say, 10, 20 years ago, she's not, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. What?
The Key to Cannabis website. Sorry, it's not. I don't know if it's official or not. But 1 gram of weed could range anywhere from $3 to $15.
So he had a gram of weed. He had a gram of weed, which is kind of what I figured, but I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't. That's what I figured he had, but I didn't want to say nothing until we were sure.
Okay. And the law is now you got to have a gram or more.
Okay.
So that's why he's still in jail.
He's a trip, but
oh Lord, I'm on one today, ain't it?
But clearly there's a double standard within. I mean, you can also kind of look at the conversation
it is a conversation though, because it's like, y'all still are at this point. Just make it illegal because folks gonna do what they want to do,
or make it legal.
That's what I mean. Make it legal. What I said, make it illegal.
Yeah, you said make it illegal. He meant make it legal. He meant make it legal
at this point because the people gonna do what they want to do. And then in California, when I went to California, it's just weed everywhere.
That's because it's legal.
Exactly. And then you go to Colorado, it's the same thing. And then shoot, we be in Georgia and the folks be high as a kite. And it's illegal. It's so light.
Don't be stitching on nobody over here, bro. What you talking about?
Because I don't be doing it. You don't be doing it.
But I'm saying, like, don't be thinking like, oh, I see people in Georgia, it's illegal, bro. You can't be stitching on nobody.
I ain't saying nobody's name.
I'm just saying, whatever. But obviously, yeah. We see that it's the facts of this situation is that there's 2 big double standards, and that's why I feel like it's weighing so heavily on, and it's really exposing the government for a situation like this. Exposing the government on two sides. It's on the side of going to get her, the humanitarian side of the White House. Are you gonna go out there and go get her? Are you gonna do that? If it was somebody else, obviously, if it was somebody with a higher stature, cool. Like, we know that you'll be pulling out all the stops. You got to pull out the stops, but obviously, people see, the White House kind of being like a little bit interactive with this, and then you being like, oh, like, yeah, like they're going, they're doing their thing. No, I mean,
that's how politics work.
But they could definitely, I'm just saying, they could definitely do more. There could definitely be more.
Yeah, but I'm
still kind of
on the hill. It's like, hey, she broke the law.
And then you flip to the side of what do we do in this country? Like, how do people feel in the country that may be in jail for weed, have family members that are in jail for weed, and you see the U.S. What may seemingly be like the most. I feel like this is the most interactive they've been with a prisoner swap ever, because usually prisoner swaps will take like years to negotiate. But this is like, like obviously, like I said, the public outcry for it, and you got, but if you got a family member in jail for weed, where's your public outcry? People don't have that, status, because even with her demoted status, even
higher than me,
even with her status being higher than the common man, you still see
man or woman,
you still see the double standard and
get them.
Yeah, what?
Get them.
So what?
Get them.
Oh, okay, whatever. I don't know what he's talking about, but I guess because that encapsulates our discussion. I guess the final question I have for you is, do you think she goes back to Russia after this? To play?
No, but she goes back international.
You think she chooses a different country?
Yeah. It's easy.
Because I don't think they treated her bad. I mean, I just don't. You think...
Go to Turkey.
I mean, I don't know, $1 million. That's a mill.
Go to France. Go to Paris.
That's a mill, though. I don't know.
With her status and how good, because she is very good at her job as a basketball player.
Right.
She could be the female LeBron. She not the female LeBron in WNBA, but internationally she could be.
Oh yeah.
I don't watch international basketball, so I don't know if there's an international superstar, female superstar. Mm-hmm. Hey, but what is she, like 6'7"? She tall.
Yeah, she's up there. She's
tall.
She's up there. But definitely, like I said, that encapsulates our discussion about Brittney. Wishing her all the best. Wishing her family all the best.
Disclaimer: we was laughing, but we take it very seriously.
Yeah.
I want to make this a point, right? You laugh to keep from crying. Okay? We laugh to kind of make like bad situations not seem as bad. Because in the news media, like when you watch TV, Channel 2, like your regular media sources, it's like it's always like negatives going on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we're laughing, or we're making like, or I'm not gonna say we, because I'll be the one making the jokes. But like I make little jokes not to make fun of the situation, right? But to kind of keep it, like kind of like bright, like
yeah, you understand,
like
yeah.
I don't want y'all to be down and out, throwing in the towel. No, smile in the midst of your storm. Oh my God, that's another word. Write it down.
I mean,
ooh, I'm gonna start doing that every video. I'm gonna drop a word for y'all. Inspiration is key. Here, well, I got one more gem. Trouble don't last always. Hallelujah. Hey.
But yeah, like I said, we wanna wish our family all the best. Like Cam said, this is, I feel like this is one of our more
deeper.
One of our more deeper episodes, and we definitely want to continue with this trend because, like we said, we're real talk. We want to talk about issues that surround sports, whether it's about the privilege within sports, status, culture, government, political power. Like right now, you just take a WNBA player, stick them in Russia, and you can expose the issue with status on her part on what she does in our country, the activeness of the government, and then also the international issues that control it. So really, sports brings everything together in some way, shape, or form. But glad to do this episode. Glad to get deep with y'all on this. We hope y'all enjoyed this episode. Remember to go, look out for more videos from us.
Follow TikTok.
Yeah.
Follow Instagram. TikTok. Follow the Twitter.
Real talk.
Follow the subscribe, like, comment, share, repost,
YouTube. Yes, this episode will be available
put on your story,
all platforms.
Your Instagram story.
So yeah.
Your Snapchat story. Put it on Twitter. Got stories. Y'all ain't know that.
TikTok got stories too.
TikTok got.
Figure that out. What are you doing?
What? Don't they do that? That's a TikTok.
No, that's a. What is that? That's a.
That's TikTok.
That's a loop.
Ooh, nah.
That's a loop in the Instagram.
That's TikTok. That's they go. She got the woo nah.
Oh my god.
Like water.
Yeah, him doing that means it's time to go. Follow us, Real Talk WSC. Look for us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Real Talk Stephen and Cam. Appreciate y'all vibing with us today, and we are out.